Hello everybody out there in the land of make-believe, Uncle Barco here, and I'm doing an exhaustive review and tutorial of the Meepo M4s remote control. I'm going to put chapter headings down in the description, so if you want to jump to a section, jump to it. Go down there, click the thing, and while you're down there, like and subscribe. So the Meepo Hurricane comes with the Meepo M4s remote control, and it is a rechargeable 4-speed remote control in a plastic shell. It's got a monochrome digital illuminated display, a speed control wheel, a power button, function button, and a removable wrist strap. This remote control is compatible with the Meepo Hurricane, Shuffle Standard, Shuffle ER, Mini 2 Standard, Mini 2 ER, NLS Pro, NLS Belt, V3 Standard, V3 ER, V3 Bamboo, and V2 electric skateboards. Your Meepo remote control and you pairing. The remote control should come from the factory paired with the board. Once the remote control has been paired with the board, it will automatically connect to the board every time it is turned on. Until it connects, the display will read a disconnected and will vibrate periodically until it connects with the board. The Hurricane has a roll to connect feature and can be turned on with a swift roll of the rear wheels. If the remote control is turned on and the board is rolled, the board will power up and connect with the remote control automatically. To pair the remote, first turn on the skateboard. Then hold the power button down until the light starts flashing. Then turn on your remote control and hold the power button and function buttons simultaneously. The remote control will vibrate and the skateboard will beep when the device is paired. When the remote is paired, the connection indicator icon in the top left corner of the display should be flashing. The remote control will vibrate as a warning if the connection is broken. This can happen periodically if the signal is interfered with by an outside source. It should only lose connection momentarily, so if it loses connection for more than a few seconds or happens frequently, discontinue use of the remote control and contact Meepo customer service. According to my tests, the remote can transmit from 60 to 80 feet without losing connection, depending on the orientation of the board and other variables. Your remote control display and you. There are several icons on the display. As I said earlier, the top left icon will flash when the board is connected with the remote. To the right of this is the odometer, which shows the total distance traveled. The boards are tested at the factory, so the odometer will not be at 0 when you take it out of the box. Mine had 46 miles on it, but this will vary from board to board. The arrow at the top right of the display indicates the direction of the spin of the wheel. If the arrow is pointing to the left, the board is set to travel forward. And if the arrow is pointing to the right, it's in reverse. The number under the word speed in the middle row indicates the speed level setting from 1 to 4. The speed levels control the acceleration, power, and top speeds of the board. Top speeds will depend on the size of the wheels you have installed. When starting out, it's best to stay in the lower speed levels until you can ride confidently at its maximum speed. The large number in the middle of the display indicates your current rate of speed and can be changed between miles and kilometers depending on your preference. The number under the word brake at the middle left side of the display indicates the power level of the brakes from 1 to 4. The lower the number, the softer the brakes, and the further distance you will travel before stopping. It is best to have your brakes set no lower than 2 when you first start out until you've had the chance to test all of the other levels. At the bottom left of the display is the remote control battery charge indicator. This shows 4 bars when at full capacity. The number at the bottom center of the display next to the letter T is the trip indicator and will show a record of the distance traveled per trip and will reset to 0 once the remote has been turned off. The icon at the bottom left of the display is the board battery indicator with 4 bars that show the battery level of your skateboard. Do not mistake the letter in the middle of either battery indicators as one of the bars. When the skateboard indicator is on its last bar, there is very little power left in the board and will shut down soon. You can get extra distance out of the board if you turn the power to the lower settings and avoid inclines. Your speed control wheel and you. The speed control wheel is self-centering and moves 1/2 turn in either direction before stopping. Rolling the wheel forward from center will increase the speed of the board. The speed is variable depending on the position of the wheel, much like the throttle on a motorcycle. When the wheel is pressed all the way forward, the board will travel at the maximum speed for that level. To apply the brakes, pull the wheel back past center. Just pulling the wheel back part way or releasing the wheel entirely will not stop the board. The wheel must be pulled back from its centered position in order for the brake to be applied. How to change settings and functions. To power on the remote, hold the large button at the bottom of the handle until the screen comes on. To change the speed levels, push the smaller function button. This will cycle through the speed options from 1 to 4, then reset to 1. Pull back the speed wheel while simultaneously pushing the function button. This will cycle through the brake levels. To switch the direction of the wheels, double press the power button. This will put the board in reverse. Double press the power button again to put it back into forward. To change the distance reading from miles to kilometers or wheel speed, you will need to access the program menu. To access the program menu, first turn off the remote control. Then hold down both the power button and function buttons at the same time. This will bring up the program menu. The first option will be to change distance units from miles to kilometers. This is done by rotating the speed wheel in either direction, and the remote will vibrate as it changes. Toggle through the options by pressing the function button to switch to wheel speed. The wheel speed should be set at 68. The wheel speed setting is for direct drive and hub motors only and should not be changed when using the Meepo Hurricane, which is a belt drive. Changing this number will not make your board go any faster or slower and may result in getting false data on your odometer or speedometer readings. Lastly, you can put your board in cruise control mode. This is for testing purposes only and should never be used while riding. To be clear, never ride with the cruise control on. To initiate cruise control, first flip your board over or prop it up so that the wheels are not in contact with anything. Then, once you have throttled up to the desired speed, press the power button. Once cruise control has engaged, the remote control will vibrate and the wheels will continue to spin even when you lift your thumb off the speed control wheel. To disengage, simply push the power button or pull the brake back for the wheels to immediately stop. Tips, tricks, and safety warnings. The number one thing to remember is always turn off your remote if you are not in complete control of the board. Step off the board, turn off the remote. It is too easy to inadvertently bump the control wheel and send your board flying. The second most important rule is always check your settings before you get on the board. Even if you were just on it, it is easy to inadvertently change the power settings, which will increase the initial acceleration. In Mode 4, this can be extremely dangerous if you're not expecting it. I know from personal experience. In Mode 4, the board can come right out from underneath your feet. Next, make sure you hold the remote so that your thumb is making contact to the direct center of the speed control wheel. If your thumb is too high or low, it can get pinched between the wheel and the shell of the remote and prevent you from being able to brake properly. Always wear the wrist strap provided with the remote control or a strap of your choosing. Accidentally dropping the remote could cause damage and render it inoperable. If you fall, Immediately drop the remote control. Provided that you're wearing the wrist strap, the remote is less likely to get damaged if it's not in your hand when you fall. In my opinion, it's a good idea to order a spare remote control. If your remote breaks, gets lost, or stops working, you will be unable to use your board until a new remote can be acquired. Due to the proprietary nature of the software, no alternative remote control will work with the Hurricane, so it must be replaced with another M4s Meepo remote control. Don't forget to charge your remote. The battery in your remote control, charged to capacity, will last for several rides, and it's easy to forget to charge it. I advise charging your remote every time you charge your board, whether it needs to be or not. Okay, and now for my review of this remote control. The pros, it seems well constructed with a thick plastic shell. I've banged it around quite a bit. I've had no problems with it breaking. There's some scratches on the screen, but that's how screens be. It fits comfortably in my hand. It's got a very ergonomical. It's got an ergonomical design. The screen is brightly lit. It has excellent range, and the haptic feedback comes in handy to alert the rider of conductivity and power issues. Cons. I would prefer if there were a little bump indicating the center of the speed control wheel. It is too easy to lose orientation on the wheel, causing your thumb to get pinched and preventing you from braking properly. Also, in order to view the display while riding, you have to contort your hand in an unnatural position, and I would prefer a larger screen, and if the display was completely flipped upside down, it would be much easier to read. I don't look at the screen while I'm riding. I don't really have any idea how fast I'm going while I'm going that fast. Usually what I'll do is I'll get up to speed and then I'll slow down a little and look at the screen. Otherwise, I can't look at it while I'm maintaining speed or accelerating. It's just too easy for me to accidentally go too fast. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a script. I tell you, oh my God, was that hard to get through? Okay. All right, settle down, bark me. Okay, so that is it. I didn't mention it. I mentioned it in a short earlier, but you might have noticed I changed my intro, and it's just too long. It's just too long. I kept it for a long time because trolls hated it. And again, that's no reason to keep a thing, so got rid of that. Now it's short and sweet. And I can get right into the videos now. Speaking of which, got some videos coming out. I got a new Alpine Star Bionic jacket. Works pretty good. Going to be making a review about that and compare it with my Chrome hoodie, my Alpine Star Chrome hoodie. I got some new fun ride videos coming out. I'll be doing some more trail reviews and all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna keep making videos like I've always made videos. So stay tuned for all that. And what I have not changed is my outro, which will always be ride safe, be seen, have fun.